Hey guys,
everyone.
welcome to the
Welcome to
first
episode
official
1.
episode, yes, of One Couple.
Two cultures.
Today we want to talk a little bit about our families, meeting
Yeah.
our families.
Exactly.
Me meeting your family for the first time, you meeting my family for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you know maybe a little bit about us, if you watched the first get to know episode basically, then maybe you can already guess some things that we will say. Do you want to start?
Sure. Well, I met your family very sporadically, actually.
Yes.
And it was within I want to say 7 months.
Yeah,
8
it took a
months.
while for you to actually meet the whole family.
Everybody,
like,
exactly.
close family.
Your whole your core 4.
You don't even have that many people to meet.
No, I don't have that many. Your rest of your family. Oh, I have not met
No, you have not met my
almost anybody.
total family.
Yeah,
you
no.
know, at our wedding.
Yeah,
That'll happen.
yeah.
Well, getting ahead of ourselves, continue.
So I met your mom first, actually, here in LA, and it was really interesting because I was at a friend's.
Wow.
No.
Wow,
Before you take
people.
this seriously, that is interesting is a good thing. No. No, because I was at a friend's house and I remember being so nervous. And my friend, she just kept saying, don't be nervous. It's fine. You'll do fine.
Good friend.
Yeah. Jacinta. Thank you. No, but I was at her house and I just remember saying, I don't want to go. I don't know if she'll like me. I was, those jitters.
I get it though.
'Cause,
Historically, if you look at fairy tales and stuff like that,
The mother-in-law never likes the daughter-in-law.
Never gets along with
No,
the
I got really
daughter-in-law.
lucky with my mother-in-law. I really, really did. No, but when
All right, kiss ass. Continue.
I'm really no, but I swear.
Continue.
No, so I met your mom at your volleyball game, actually. And I remember she had your phone, so it's not like I could have talk to you directly either. So I was like, oh, I'm coming. And your mom would be the one answering me.
Yeah. First impression.
Yeah. And so, when I finally show up, I didn't know what your mom looked like at all. So I just remember seeing this tall, beautiful blonde woman. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. She's German, so it makes sense.
She gave me the beautiful jeans, obviously.
Sure.
All right,
Just
continue.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
The tall jeans, let's put it that way.
The tall jeans. You didn't know your whole family's tall.
Yeah, fair. We're not even that tall in German standards. You know?
Are tall.
I'm
Anyway,
average
I'm gonna go
height.
back to my
All right,
story.
sorry. I digress.
No, so yeah, I met your mom and she was super, super, super fun to talk to right away. And she just made me feel really comfortable talking to her and sitting, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if she was going to talk to me. I didn't know if she was going to interrogate me. I didn't know. But she
also Germans aren't known for being the best at talking, making the conversation.
I didn't know what to expect. No, but your mom was
I get
great.
it.
Yeah, your mom was fantastic. And I remember just having the best conversation, and I left there and I was like, okay, I feel good.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And then your dad I met here in LA also. It was for your New York Film Academy graduation. And your dad right away just was like, hi, how are you? And gave me such a hug. And I'll never forget this either, because we picked up your dad. We were at LAX and it was your mom, you in the passenger and me in the back. And then you obviously grabbed your dad and gave him a hug. And then he ran into the car in the passenger seat and he just turns to the back and he goes, hi, Sabrina. I'm like, hi. And then you were starving. So we stopped at
a phenomenon that happens quite often.
So of course you just had to stop to get to eat something. And it was a Panera right next to LAX. And we stopped there. And I don't know why this is embedded in my brain. So
I remember that exact moment.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I got out of the car and your dad finally goes, now I can give you a hug. And just hugs me. And I'm like, hi. And then the first thing he goes, you're small. Thank you.
It's a hard fact to ignore.
And ever since then, your dad has just been one to goof around with me. It was just joke around and make fun and vice versa.
My dad likes to goof around,
Which is fantastic.
which you wouldn't expect if you
I would
first
not
meet him.
expect him because he came in like the suit and tie, all lawyery and whatever, and I'm just like, please. And now I'm like, please.
Yeah, it's all an act.
No, and then I met your sister and her boyfriend Louis in Spain later that year when we went.
Yeah, yeah,
And-
yeah. It was really sporadically.
It was that's what I'm saying. It was really like your mom I met in like January. Your
Yeah.
dad I met in May, June, and then your sister I met in August. When we when we went to Spain.
Yeah, it was really sporadically.
Yeah.
My mom you met also really quickly into us dating.
Yes.
It was like a month.
It was
not
not
even.
even.
You know, and my dad was obviously
Quite a
couple
while
more months, and
after.
then we also went together to San Francisco.
Yeah, that same exact
That was our
time. Yeah,
first, like,
exactly.
Trip with my parents, basically,
Yeah.
even though it was like a road
Like
trip
a little
type.
road trip. Yeah.
And then, you know, our first trip to Spain is when
Yeah.
you met my sister and her.
And her boyfriend Louis.
boyfriend.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was great. I mean, it was super fun. I got to know a lot of.
See how easy it is to get slowly introduced to a family, one person at a time.
What are you
You know,
trying to
I
say?
wish somebody
Sure, tell
else
your
would have had
story
that
now.
experience. All right, I'm waiting for this.
Go for it.
All right,
What is your
my
story?
first experience was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
What's your
first of all-
experience now?
First of all, you know, you hear big Italian family. Already sounds a little scary. You know, you have those big Italian families in the movies like The Godfather, you know, like Goodfellas.
My family's
That kind of that's kind of the big Italian families that you get introduced to in your life normally. And you know, Italian New Yorkers especially. Let's specify. Let's
okay,
specify.
That's true.
You know, Italians are very warm and welcoming. Italian New Yorkers, different questions, you know? They're talking like this. They're making the pizza. What is it? Your uncle has a deli,
Yeah.
makes pizza,
Yeah.
talks like this.
I freaking love my Uncle Nino.
You know?
Hey, Nino.
So, like, there we are already. It was established that that's what it's going to be. So, first of all, I got introduced to the family not sporadically.
No.
No. I came over. The first time I came was June, right?
You met, hold on, wait, going back, you met
I met your parents first.
my parents first. No, but you met my mom's side first.
Yes.
My dad's side you met at the end of
Yes.
of
Yes.
the year.
You can differentiate between the two sides. Your dad's side is mainly in
In
Uruguay.
Yeah.
where we go for Christmas.
Mhm.
So that was like almost a year into us dating.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom's side is all in New York.
Yeah.
So them I met a lot earlier. But I
Yeah.
also met your family, your immediate family first.
You did meet my here in LA. Yeah.
I got to take that
Oh,
back
come
a
on.
little
Yeah,
bit.
you got to take
I
that
gotta take
back.
it.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. I did meet her family briefly though. It wasn't
Yeah.
for a long time.
It was for like, I think a week.
I think even less because I was in the middle of a project or something, and that's why I didn't have that much time.
Oh, probably.
But anyway, I met your parents and your brother 1st,
Mhm.
which was really nice. You know, that was your immediate family is very, I wouldn't say quiet necessarily. You know, your dad and your brother are quiet.
Yeah, my dad and
Your
my
dad
brother
and your
are
brother are
quiet.
quiet for like Italian standards. Let's put it that way. Your mom and you are not quiet. But
No,
anyway,
we could just
that
put, my
was-
dad's more Uruguayan.
yeah, that was fairly relaxing. You know, super nice, super welcoming. You know, I got along with her brother right away because soccer. You know,
Yeah.
he plays soccer. I love soccer, so it's like that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously your dad loves to talk about soccer too, so that was easy.
That was easy.
And
See,
yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
no, like I said, that wasn't bad at all. I was like, oh, this is nice. I got tricked into this false sense of security and calmness
Oh.
that I was expecting every time, which I didn't get.
Sure.
Then let's get to the point. Then I went to New York for the first time, like 5 months into us dating.
Mm-hmm.
And there I got bombarded with the big Italian family. I think
Yeah.
there was like a family gathering or a party or something.
Yeah, I think it was one of my cousin's
Of like
graduation.
so many people, which was
Yeah.
the first time where I met everybody.
Oh yeah, I forgot
And-
about that.
And Sabrina, the lovely lady that she is most of the time, sometimes not, left me alone. She was like, oh, here's everybody. Go. Boom. I turn around, she's gone. I'm like,
Really?
what? You left me alone.
I'm so sorry.
That was just the first time. Because you were like, oh, you're comfortable now.
Yeah,
Because
you met
after I met
everybody.
your, no, I didn't though. I met your immediate family. And then you were like, boom, gone. And I'm like,
Probably had a to go say hi to people.
What am I doing here? And then everybody comes up, oh, how you doing? Who are you? Yo, whoa, you talking in this attitude.
Sure.
Talking like this to me. And I'm like, I'm Constantin. Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Who
my
are
little
you?
shy guy.
And it's like, I don't know. I felt like, even though probably that wasn't the case, I felt like the way, because obviously New Yorkers talk a little rougher. The way they were talking, I thought like the undertone of everybody, especially the male parts of your family, when they were greeting me was, what are your intentions with Sabrina? What do you want from her?
Sure.
Listen.
I don't know who was talking to you, man, but sure.
Listen. Partly, that was definitely the case.
Okay.
But no, all jokes aside, I was just, because I'm not the best at social gatherings.
No, you are not a
I
social
get easily
butterfly.
overwhelmed. So for me, it was just a lot of people, but it was very nice. Like, all jokes, Godfather aside, which is definitely the case still. It was very nice because it's just like her grandma lives right next to you, so like your uncle is there too. So like every morning for breakfast, everybody just comes in, your uncle's there, your cousins are there, your grandma's there. So like it's this big, happy, big Italian family, obviously you don't get a word in.
No.
Obviously it's very loud, but
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
To
it's
also,
fun.
yeah,
It's fun.
and like let's say after a specific time at the beginning, I was like scared and overwhelmed. You get
Once you get past that, it's
you feel part of the family
for sure.
And we got a different shade also because when I went then to Uruguay for the first time,
Oh yeah,
that was again a totally different way
it was a different
of
experience.
meeting
That's
the rest
true.
of the family because the Uruguayan
That one was more sporadic.
that one was more sporadic. There I got lucky. I met your grandma
Well,
first.
they're also just like big goofballs too.
Yeah. And I met your grandma from, your dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
I met first, which was a lovely experience for me.
Oh
Literally
my God. Yeah. That
lovely experience.
Okay.
Because she is the
Okay.
grandma. She's that typical Italian grandma who loves to cook.
She
and
does
who
love
cooks
to cook.
amazing. Like your other grandma also cooks amazing food.
But she doesn't like to cook.
She doesn't like to cook though. She
My
also
other one loves to
She's
cook.
just like, I hate to cook, but I whip this together. It's amazing.
It's really good.
Amazing. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like to cook? Please cook again. Well, like that's the typical Italian grandma living in Uruguay who loves to cook.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love.
She's also the type of grandma that like, if you don't finish your plate,
Yes.
she'll get offended.
I got that warning, so I was prepared.
Okay.
I didn't
Wait,
eat-
can I tell
Yes,
my
please,
perspective?
please.
Because I remember it was like just us, and
I can't even keep
I
track.
warned you. I go, my grandma makes a lot of food. I told her I really wanted homemade pizza, so she's gonna have homemade pizza, and she's gonna have homemade pasta. So be careful. And I even told you, I go, it's filling, and so we get there, and we're all, it's like lunchtime. So she like has this whole freaking table prepared, and she has
My dream.
yeah, it is your dream. She has these like mini plates, and each plate, like she cuts up her pizza with like a knife into like with scissors actually, and it's like this thick, and they're little squares, and she had like sporadically around the table, and like 5-6 pieces on each plate, and so you decide to like hog 3 plates and eat all of the pizza.
She offered me the plates.
Yeah, but like, dude, it was for everybody.
I wasn't hogging it. She was like, "Oh, you want those plates?" I'm like, "Yeah."
So then,
If you're gonna offer them to me, what am I gonna say?
so
no?
then wait, and so then you eat all of those pizzas, and I told you, I was like, Constantine, chill, because there's a lot more food. And so you were like, how much food can there really be? I'm like, well, okay. So then she brings out like the homemade pasta, and she doesn't just put a little bit on your plate like they do in Europe. No, this is a big plate. It's a big lot of pasta in there. So then she fills your plate, and you eat the whole thing. And then she was like, oh, do you want more? And you were like, sure. And you had and I told you, I go, she's going to have more food. And you're like, how much more food could she possibly have? I'm like, okay, have another plate. Sure.
I can always
Sure.
eat more food.
Okay, so then you have this
Pizza
other.
and pasta doesn't count. That's just that's
No.
just a starter.
I would throw up with the amount of food that you consumed that day. And then you had another plate of pasta. And then this woman brought out chicken. And you were like, well, might as well eat the chicken too. And then she brought out dessert and like fruit, and you still had that. And I remember looking over at my grandfather, my dad's dad, and his face was just sitting there, and he's like,
Yeah, I shell shocked your family that day.
That was like the look on their faces was like,
A family of
where does
Italians
he put
meets the
it?
German who just eats it all.
But like the funny thing is, you really like Italian food, which is fantastic.
Hey, listen, it's pizza and pasta. Who doesn't like that?
I don't know. People
I can eat
don't
that
like
any day.
that. I can.
And
eat.
listen, ever since that happened, her grandma has literally gone above and beyond to be able to get me pizza. Like this Christmas, I couldn't go to Uruguay. Sabrina went to visit her family, and her grandma cooked up 2 pizzas before her flight back just so that she could take them on the flight all the way back here to LA.
And they made it.
And they made it through customs because everybody, I bet the security, you told me the story, the security guard started like smelling her luggage. You're like, what smells so good?
I'm like,
She's
oh,
like-
that's my grandma's pizza.
And you're
It's
like,
tomato
oh.
homemade.
And they just asked her if there's anything specific on it, but I think they literally just,
They were literally like, I even offered. I go, do you want a piece? 'Cause,
they were
like,
really upset that they weren't allowed to eat a piece,
That's true.
which I would be too.
But like, I gotta say, I opened up my suitcase for them, and I swear to God, the whiff that you got of pizza.
You open it up at home, and I was like, yep, I'm eating it
And the
right
funny thing
now.
is, she can whip this up, and it's homemade, like dough and everything. She whips it up in like an hour. I don't know how she does it.
It's efficiency right there.
I really don't. And I've watched her, and I've tried to recreate it, and I've tried to like mimic her, and it does not come out the same.
No. Oh, she also has that oven that I
It's
think
such
survived.
an old crappy oven.
That survived. I don't know what.
I don't know.
I don't know what. It's been through stuff. That's for sure. It's been through stuff. It's probably leaking. It's probably, I don't know
Yeah,
what.
I don't know.
But it works wonders.
Yeah, I've tried recreating a lot of her recipes. Don't work.
Yeah. No, but going back.
Wow, we got way off
Yes.
topic. Sorry.
That's how I met, your Uruguayan family first. And also there was a lot more in a,
And
let's
they
say-
kind of came like sporadically.
Yeah,
too,
they came
throughout the day.
sporadically, and it was like a calmer surroundings and everything. And
No one asked you questions of what are your intentions. That's
exactly.
For sure.
Nobody did. Plus, for me, the hardest part was that I don't speak Spanish perfectly. I made fun of her, which she never forgave me, I think. The first time I met her, I heard her speak Spanish. And obviously, my dad's from Spain, so we speak the correct Spanish.
It's not correct.
And I told her she speaks Portuguese Spanish, which, big faux pas. So I wasn't.
Wait, what?
Faux pas, it's French.
I'm sorry. What? I've never.
You foreigner.
I'm not a foreigner.
It's something you can't do. It's an expression. Come on. Be a little worldly.
All right, continue.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was the biggest challenge for me, the Spanish. But like, they make it easy.
Yeah.
Because also you talk with your feet, you talk with your hands, you talk with whatever you got. So, plus there's a lot of kids on that side too, like
Yeah.
younger kids, which I love kids. So like,
Yeah, my cousin.
I just spent a lot of time with them. So that made it really easy. And for me, it was just beautiful to, I feel like I get so lucky. Well, I feel like we both got lucky in a certain sense. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I got lucky that I met you for obvious reasons. Obviously, you're
Thank
amazing. I love you.
I love you too.
Whatever. But I also got lucky because, you're New York Italian with Uruguayan roots. One, I got lucky because of all these different cultures I got to see because I met you. But also I got to go to Uruguay, which I don't think I would have ever gone to in my normal life. Not because it's not a beautiful country. It is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
a
just
small
it's
country,
a small
but you
country.
You don't really
It's
like think
not
of
the
it.
most famous country necessarily if you think about South America or something, it's not a big country. So like it wouldn't have been my first stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a chance to go there and actually see beautiful different parts of it because
Absolutely.
of you and with people who grew up there, what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
So that's
For
always
sure.
the best guides you can possibly have.
Absolutely.
So I got really lucky with that.
No, I got really lucky too. Especially like different parts of Europe I got to see, like my only experience in Europe before meeting you was going to Italy with my grandfather, and I just got really lucky and I got to see the Netherlands because you guys go sailing. I got to go to Austria to go skiing. Like,
Yeah.
I could say I go to Austria to go ski. That sounds so pretentious. But like,
It's a 2-hour drive.
It's a 2-hour drive from Germany.
It's much less pretentious than going here to Big Bear and paying God knows how much for it.
Expensive.
Which is just like in Austria, it's not as expensive. You know, it's a 2-hour drive from Germany over there. So it's really easy to do it. So, you know, but no, that's definitely what I think is one of the big things that I also, you know, was blessed through meeting you.
No, me too.
Because of all the different cultures, all the different, you know, ways of living also in Uruguay, obviously, which is a totally different way of living, also a totally different lifestyle than Germany and the US.
Exactly.
Because people are so much more relaxed. People are like, have a totally different attitude towards life, towards work, towards what the life-work balance, which already in Germany and the US is different.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I got really lucky with that, you know.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, also the different cultures from your parents, from you.
Yeah.
It's just it's a blessing, you know. And I didn't think originally when I met you in the US
that I would come with so many different
all of
things.
that.
No, but vice versa. You know, I didn't think like, let's say when I went to Germany for the first time and you told me that you can just drive to Italy, drive to France, or take a 3-hour train ride to France. I go, I'm sorry, what? Like, I can take another, like, go by car to a different country. Like, yeah, you can do that here too, but where can we really go? Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, and it's one thing to...
And you have to go through a border.
Yeah, and it's one thing to know it. Like, you knew it before.
I knew it before.
But it's the other thing to see it.
Yeah.
And to do it.
Exactly.
You know, to just take the drive and then suddenly be like, after an hour, you're in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Or in Austria.
Crazy.
Or in the Netherlands or wherever.
Yeah.
It's just the difference.
Absolutely.
Seeing that and actually going through it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would say that was meeting our families for the first time.
Yes. To sum up, what do you think was the most interesting thing about meeting my family? Or what do you think you got out of it most or whatever?
Wow, there's so much and so many good things. I got to know you as a little child. I got to hear a lot of stories from your mom, your dad, and
That's
your
always
sister.
great. The
So
embarrassing
it's always,
stories.
Of course. But no, I honestly, like, your family for me was the best thing, was like taking me in. And they really, really, all three of them just took me in as one of you guys. And it was just so fantastic to just, I don't know, be with you guys. And like, for me, it was also nice to see, like, it's great to have so many people, but you don't need a lot of people to also have a good time too. And just be together, you know? And you guys let me have so many adventures, which was super fun. Yeah, that for me was the highlight of meeting your family, and I'll always say that because you guys are great and amazing.
All right. No, but that's really nice.
I shouldn't have tooted your own horn that quick, that fast.
And no, I agree. I think in general about, I don't know, being in a relationship with somebody, and I think you have the same with long-term friends. Mm-hmm. But in a relationship, I feel like it's again like on a different level. If you are lucky enough to get along really well with, you know, your parents-in-law, you almost have, because if you have a good relationship with your own parents, with your own family, you know there's somebody there who will drop anything and be there for you.
Exactly.
And just who you get along with, who you can come to for problems, you know, who you can rely on. And one thing that I think you already are blessed with, that you have a huge family.
I do.
I feel like,
on both sides,
you know, if you were in trouble, you have 40 cousins who go to war for you.
It's true.
You know? And it's just like, I feel like that's the part of me. One, obviously, that includes that your family took me in as, you know, one of their own. And now I get along with everybody in your family. Yeah. And I met all these different people, which I'm blessed to have met. You really have this whole second support system.
You do.
You know, if you're lucky enough, obviously. But you have this whole second support system of another family who will do anything for you, who will be there for you, who you can come to for advice.
For sure.
And obviously, you know, because our families are so different, they are so versatile. I can come to certain people for specific advice because so many people do different things.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
many different cultures and cultural differences, and that's amazing. And
Heck yeah.
like that I know that was one of the greatest things for me, meeting your family, to just have that entire second support system, that entire second realm of opinions and culture that I got to know. And yeah, that was an amazing thing about meeting the families.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for listening
Yes,
for our
thank
very
you guys.
first episode.
Yeah, it was nice to go on this journey with you now, and we started with our first episode strong, and
We hope
watch
to keep
out for
going.
the next one.
Thanks,
you, guys.
guys.